It's Beltane here in the UK, and we've been dressing the hawthorn trees and building a fire for Beltane. We always have a fire outside. This month I've been working on the second weaving for the exhibition, another hand-woven shawl, and this one is inspired by the faded warm spice colours of old Moroccan textiles. So I've got a lot of pinks in there and deep reds and things like that. So I've shown in this video some footage of that being warped and starting weaving on it. And Elfin's been weaving a lot. She's woven a beautiful scarf, and that's in this video as well. Yeah, you can see it coming off the loom when she's finished it. It's really lovely. So yeah, that's what we've been working on the looms this month, and lots of other creative projects as well, which are in this vlog. And I've done the first month on Patreon. So we're going into the second month now, and thank you to everyone that's joined Patreon. It's been lovely. I'm really enjoying it. We've had our first craft alongs and it's been lovely. Really nice to meet everyone so far, and it will be the project along next month. That will be an online workshop, and the project along will be making and bookbinding journals, art journals, keep a constant flow of inspiration in, and yeah, keep records of ideas and things that you'd love to do in them. So that'll be fun. That's a really fun creative project. It's really nice to do art journaling for that, pictures and things that you can stick in there, and ideas and things that you might write about. Here's a few of my art journals that I've been working on and working in. There's this one. And this one. And a little one. That one's just for quilting ideas. And then there's this one. I tend to keep mine separate, so I've got like a weaving journal and spinning and quilting and whatever projects that I do. I try and keep different little journals for some of it, and some of it I just have a general journal that I put things in. And the postcards have gone out for Beltane, and next month will be the goodie boxes or goodie bags, I can't remember which it is, next month, for the summer solstice. So those will be going out in June. And I've been working throughout the month on painting the chassis. We got a horse-drawn wagon, and it desperately needed some work doing on it. It's quite old, and it's been a while since we've done any maintenance on it. So it's been the top of the wagon is off the chassis, and that's been having some maintenance done. That we've been going up and doing as much as we can, as often as we can, because it's in a friend's barn. The chassis is now back here, and I've been painting that, so there's some footage of that in this vlog. It's quite fine line work and things like that, so I've made a start on that. And when the chassis is finished being painted, then we'll bring the top back and put it back into the garden where it lives. Yeah, and then I'll have to start work on painting the top. So I've got a lot of fine detail work that I need to do on it. It's going to take a long time, but I think if we can just get the chassis finished, then at least we can get the top back and get it all back together and back in the garden. And all the work on that, all the painting work, takes absolutely ages, because it's really fine and detailed, and it needs several coats as well, so I have to go over and over it. Yeah, so that's taking a really long time to do, but it's nice work. I like doing it, but it's just a very long project to do. We had to sort the woodwork out. There was some spots that needed sorting out, and it has a new bay window on the back as well, because it just had a flat window before, so now it has a little bay window. It's really sweet. And it had to have the canvas replaced as well, so yeah, it's had quite a lot of big jobs done on it. So I'll post some videos of the wagon when it comes home. We'll bring it home and put it on the chassis. It's really nice. You can see some of it in other videos. It was green, so yeah, there is some footage of that on my YouTube of me working in it, because I quite often sit and spin in it and weave in it and do creative projects in there and sleep in there. I shared a book I was reading in last month's vlog, and this month I've been reading a lot in this one, Wayward by Vashti Bunyan. It's a really lovely book. She's a singer and songwriter and plays guitar. She's wrote about being in London in the 1960s when she was younger, and her journey in a horse-drawn wagon up to Scotland and all the adventures that she had. All about her writing songs on the way. I love her music. And I'll pick out an angel card. Freedom. It's really early in the morning. I've come out to feed the sheep, but I can't see them, so I'm going to have to go look for them and give them some food. They're somewhere in this field. They must be up here. There they are. Here they come. Daisy, Hazel, Sunshine, Morag, Fingal and a Wizard. Hello Hazel. Hey Daisy. I'm going to have to go and catch those now. Oh no. I managed to capture one. I had them both, but one's escaped. So I'm going to put this one through the fence and then I'm going to go and find the other one. Put them back with their mama. There it goes. Now I've got to catch the other one. Done it. Right, back to work. Been working on some patchwork. It's very slow going because I don't have a lot of time to work on it in between work, so I've just been doing a block every now and again. My mum's a wonderful quilter and she's been doing it for a lot of years, and she's always wanted to show me how to do quilting and patchwork, but it's I've done bits of patchwork for clothing and stuff like that in the past, but not actual quilting. And I always find it really hard to do because of the exact measurements and stuff like that, and with certain blocks and things. So I never really took to it or found it very pleasurable to do, because it was always like get my head in the right mess with all the numbers. So Elfin's been learning from my mum, and she's been doing hexagons and they've been sewing together, and she's been learning how to quilt, and it just really inspired me, and I thought I'd really like to have another go. I found a big box full of fabric strips in the workshop. Here's some of them I've ironed ready to stitch, and they're all torn into strips, so it's not ideal, but they're coming out all right. They're coming out fine. So I've got a rotary cutter and a board, so any fabrics that I add to it I can or that I do in the future, then I can cut them. So but yeah, these are coming up nice anyway. So these are some of the fabric strips
that I've got ready to do in the next ones, and some little ones. These are the blocks that I've made so far. I've done that one. I just figured it out by myself at first, because my mum's shown me log cabin patching before in the past, and then she's helped me with some tips and things like that with it. So there's that one. That's the first one I did. And the strips are all different thicknesses, but I don't mind that. I like that. In fact, this suits me better than having everything exactly the same measurements. I like it being different thicknesses and widths. And because what I'll do is, when I've done loads of these blocks, I will just cut them down to size so that they're all the same size. But within the block, there'll be sort of different thicknesses of the strips that go into the log cabin blocks. So that's what I've done so far. I went to the fair trade fabric shop that's not too far away, and I bought some really nice packs of fabric. So I thought I'd show you those. Got 3 packs. So this one is all in blues and whites. There's 4 pieces. There's this one, cat fabrics. Cat fabrics, I'm not sure how you say that. And another pack of those, but in greens and blues. I'll show a close-up of those in a minute. And me and Elfie did some crazy patchwork with some sort of different shapes of fabric scraps that we got, which has already been on Instagram, this one. So it's patchworked onto this sort of like a felty fabric that I found in the workshop. I just went to recycle everything that I could into this one, so it's not proper wadding, but it works fine. It works to quilt on, so I used that, and we patchworked them straight onto that fabric, and then we've been quilting the patches with different patterns on each patch, and me and Elfie have been doing that together, and this will be a cushion. That's what's small, so it's going to be a cushion front.
trying to replace all the wire fencing that's fencing off different areas of the garden, and we're making wattle fencing out of the willow and hazel. So this one's still in, but we're doing the one on the other side of the garden, which I'll show you. Luke's cut all these poles and hammered them in, and I'm going to weave them with the willow. These are hazel poles mostly, there's a little bit of ash, and then yeah, I'm going to weave wattle fences onto them. And the old wire fencing is here that Luke's taken off. It's all in a pile, so I'm going to get that out now. There. And move that. And I'm going to get the rest of this straw mulch. So there's an old straw bale in the garden over winter. So I've been putting it down as a mulch. And when I've done that, I shall start the weaving. Andy and Millie. Now I'm going to start mulching in here. This is another big bed that I'll probably put squashes into later in the year. And just started moving some of the straw bale, and then I'll spread it all out. For the patchwork I'm doing, I found some fabrics that I couldn't find for a long time. I'd put them away in the workshop somewhere, and I've just found them, and they're African, from South Africa. They're called shway shway, and they were bought for me by my friend's mum, and she'd come to visit for a few months, and she brought with her these beautiful African fabrics. So I'm going to put these into the quilting as well. This one's my favourite. And I've got 3 new little fabrics from a little shop not too far away. I've got this one, and this one, and this one. So those are going to go into the quilting as well. And I found some little scraps of some fabrics that I've hand dyed as well that I'm going to put in. There's a few little bits and bobs of that. And Elfin bought a fabric that she really fell in love with. It's quite Art Deco-y looking. It's got gold on it. And she's going to put that into some quilting as well. I've been working on this weaving all week now, and Alfie's set up her loom as well. She wants to work alongside me. She sold her scarf that she made. She made a lovely hand-woven scarf out of wool. So she's been wanting to start a new weaving project, and so she's got her loom set up and she's ready to start weaving.